breaking me down. I'm not inclined to stick around, and that's okay, because I'm running out of money anyway. Can't handle the smoke as I'm starting to choke. I feel that life is but a joke. I might be laughing on the other side of town. Who's gonna fleece me on a Friday? Who's gonna offer me cheap scum? Who's gonna sing I did it my way whenever I get drunk? Goodbye London, goodbye rainy South End Green, goodbye Camden, goodbye dodgy Thai cuisine. Gonna miss you, you always make me feel 15. Goodbye London, I won't forget that you were always good to me. Saw a sign of beach, she hasn't slept in a week. The situation's not unique. I've got the flu, the rent is due, and all my plans are falling through. Can't take any more, 1984. It's like big brothers at the door. Got call camera, now they want £100. Who's gonna mug me for my mobile? Who's gonna spare me for some change? Who's gonna show me I can still smile when everything's deranged? Goodbye London, goodbye rainy South End Green, goodbye Kenwood, and all the puddles in between. Sad to leave you, you always know just what I mean. Goodbye London, I won't forget that you were always good to me. Goodbye London, goodbye dismal golden green, hello blue skies, goodbye troubles unforeseen. I'll always love you and everything that you could be. Goodbye London, I won't forget that you were always good to me.
There's song number 2 on today's MSI, and we'll go straight to Tom and find out his thoughts on number 2. Tom?
I liked it, except for the intro. Something was a little confusing for me in the intro of the song. But outside of that, love the various background parts. The vocals sat nice. The vocal mix was really pretty decent. You know, I mean, you could hear all the different vocal parts. Nice guitar sound in the solo. I don't know if I would have kept the oohs and the ahs in over the guitar solo. It's a personal taste thing there. I might have left it out and kept it pure guitar, but you know, because it was a good solo, and the ahs and stuff is a little distracting. But again, it's a matter of personal taste. Nicely mixed, nicely produced. Again, like I said, I really like the use of the vocals and the producing of the background vocals, and it reminds me of a few groups, none whose names come to mind right now, but yeah, I liked it, and I think it was a little bright and a little thin overall. That's my only concern. It could have been a little bit warmer, a little bit rounder, but again, by the time it gets mastered and whatever, all that can change. That's a mastering thing. But overall, I liked it.
All right, radio today or trash tomorrow?
I would definitely, listen to this on the radio more than once.
All right, sounds good, Tom. Thank you very much. Let's talk to Dave, find out what he thought. Dave, your thoughts on number 2?
Yeah, my very first word sort of picks up on what Tom's just said. Tinny. Just need, I don't know, just felt very, very, as you said, bright. Just needed more sort of bottom end probably somewhere. But anyway, that's just a production thing. Get over that. Bit of a California vibe going on. Not strictly to it though. But what I picked up on was where I hail from. All that many years ago. Late 70s, 80s mod vibe. And I've written a couple of bands here I sort of hanged around with back then. The Chords and the Lambrettas. I don't know if you picked them up over in the States, but Ian might have done. Might remember them.
I didn't pick them up in the States. I heard them over here.
Yeah. It had that kind of thing going on in areas, certain parts. Perfectly all right, perfectly fine. I'll keep sound like I repeat myself, but a bit busy on the drums. But hey, that might be the vibe they want. But I would put less is more again. Yeah, as far as it felt like it needed more bass in the mix. And this I agree with. Actually, I'm going to embarrass a friend of mine who's on Facebook because I was that interested. I sort of went off to Facebook. Steve Mabber who's a bass player. We just re-linked up from when we did a theatre tour show, 60s group called the Angelettes, girl-fronted and boy band on stage. And he's going to be really embarrassed now because he's watching this and I've just name-checked him. So, Steve, there you go, mate. Drop him a line. You can have your bass talents put on. It's a very good bass player, by the way.
Oh,
but anyway, yeah, very good song. Again, reminded me of that 70s, 80s mod vibe. Would I listen to it again? Yeah, if it was produced a bit more. And he's just said, "Git, LOL."
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Ian, what do you think of number 2?
I love this. Up London. Yeah, I mean, it has got that sort of moddy feel, but I think that is coming back into sort of popular music now in England, especially in sort of pop music. So I think it's very relevant for now. Mix-wise, I did find the drums sounded great, but I did felt they dominated the mix a little bit too much, which especially put the rhythm guitars, they set them back a little bit much against the drums. And the lead guitar solo, as well as it was nicely performed, I felt it was over-compressed and too loud in the mix. It just really sort of took out in that mix and sort of blew my head off a little bit. Wasn't ready for that. But, I mean, the whole song grabbed me from the first drum roll. I didn't find anything wrong with the intro, personally. It just took me from there and went straight in. I love the guy's vocals. Good character about it. And the whole song's got this sort of good time feeling. It just sort of made you smile. And listening to the lyrics, I mean, stuff that I can personally relate to. Obviously, I'm a London boy. Spent time in Camden, a lot of the places he name-checked in the track. The lines like "Who's going to offer me cheap skunk?" Things like the dodgy Thai food and having the flu and the CCTV stuff that you know is always going on in London. So I loved all the little references. It's definitely a song I can relate to. I agree with Tom that the use of the backing vocals, the U's, the R's and everything was really, really nice, well placed in the mix and very well done. And it's just a good bit of songwriting. It's simple, but it's really effective. I mean, it's nothing genius. It's simple chord progressions. It's a simpler standard arrangement for a pop sort of rock song, but it works. It makes you want to listen. My only real bugbear was the outro. Didn't need to drop into that acoustic guitar. Certainly didn't need to drop into that acoustic guitar and fade out. You know, again,
Fade
it's
outs.
like,
Yeah, we love it.
it's just, a drummer can't. They don't know how to fade out. But
Yes,
you know,
we
when
do.
you're playing,
Yes, we do. I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight you.
1, 2, 3, 4, bang, end. That's a drummer's fade out. You know. But that's what it is when you're playing live. I keep coming back to this. I don't like fade outs because when you're in a band, you've got to finish that song on stage and you can't fade it out. Otherwise, I really liked it. Everything was brilliant. Mix was generally good. Songwriting was fantastic. Lyrics were genius. And overall, well mixed, well produced. And this should go on the radio.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Ian. Now, guys, I said we had 3 songs, and we certainly do. So put your headphones back on, and let's give a listen to number 3 after I listen to Tom.
I'm very sorry to interrupt you.
That's
but
all right.
Did you mention the name of the group for number 2?
I did not. Thank you, Tom. You're good. See, I try and slide one by Tom every once in a while, and he catches me. So I'm glad you caught that, Tom. Let me throw up number 2's credentials. Song number 2 was called Goodbye London by Luke Jackson. Luke Jackson and Goodbye London. We appreciate the fact that they sent that in to us. Good catch, by the way, Tom.
Thank you.
Well, you know, you do good every once in a while. So that's always
It's amazing how good he is when he's not on the drugs.
It's true. Now, gentlemen, you, as always, have the duty to figure out what you'd like to have as Song of the Week. And I hate to say it, but that's one of the camera shots that I did not make up yet. So I get to watch over your arguments today. So what Song of the Week should it be? 1, 2, or 3?
You're looking down on us like some sort of musical judging god.
That's the idea.
Don't
It's judgment
sneeze,
day,
whatever
people.
you do.
All hail the rich.
Yeah.
No, we're the 99%. They're the 1. No, we're the 1. However it works, you know. You don't want to hail the rich. That's just wrong.
Yeah, the bankers. I said bankers.
Well,
All right. Thoughts on Song of the Week?
I would go for number 2. I really liked the background arrangement. It caught my ear. Number 1 was a little too melodramatic if I had to quote it up into one word. Number 2 was full sounding, better mixed, and again, it was a good feeling track, and why wouldn't I want to feel good?
All right, so what one was that again?
2.
Number 2. Okay. Dave, Ian?
Go on, Dave.
Go on, Ian.
All right, then. Oh, I agree with Tom, quite simply. I mean, just also looking at the guys in the chat, everyone's quoting the lyrics from that song. And for me, that really was a big winner. The lyrical quality, the songwriting quality of that song was just brilliant. The other 2, I mean, all the tracks were of quite good levels this week. It was nice to see. But 2, it was quirky, it was fun, it was uplifting. It not only was a good song and well written, it was well produced, well mixed, as just as good as the others were. So 2 wins it for me.
All right. Number 2 for Ian. Dave?
We don't really need to hear Dave, and thank you very much for being with us today.
See you again.
He's got them
Bye-bye.
sliders again.
I'm going down the pub. It's an easy one, really. Number 2, for a lot of reasons. It was the most jolly of the songs. We need a bit of jolliness these days. Bit of reminiscence for me because it sounded from the period from where I'm from, where most of my stuff was done. And it's London, for God's sake. And I'm in London. I'm a Londoner. Hey, it's got London in the title. Come on. You know, must have known that I was coming on this week.
That may have very well been. So across the board, we have it. It's number 2. Goodbye London by Luke Jackson as this week's Song of the Week. We again appreciate all those musicians for sending their tracks in and running them through the MSI labs, and you'll be able to hear them on MSI radio a little later on. Dave, we definitely want to thank you for joining us this week. We really appreciate the fact you took time out of your busy schedule.
Hey, no problem. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
And, we're going to be watching the Olympics very closely and looking for Carrera Drums and, of course, that big Carrera tattoo.
Hey, don't worry. If I get it on the TV, I will stop it, freeze frame it, and then it'll be blasted everywhere on Facebook, on the internet. I'll be wearing a T-shirt next time you invite me on MSI. Oh, it'll be everywhere. Don't worry.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to it. Again, we thank you for joining us. We thank our in-house panelists and everybody out there for watching as well. And yeah, Ian.
Who got next week?
Next week, why don't you tell us who we got? I know he's right there near you.
Well, he's going to be in my living room, to be honest.
I know.
We're doing the broadcast together. We're being joined by John Schroeder, who is Ivor Novello Award-winning songwriter for people like Helen Shapiro. He's produced Status Quo, as well as being an artist in his own right. And he's going to come and join me in my living room for MSI with a glass of whiskey.
And we're definitely looking forward to that. We hope you come back and sit in with us on that show again next Sunday. Also want to invite you to Indie Inquest on Wednesday afternoons, and that's at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time and 10:30 p.m. GMT. And you can catch that on MSI Radio. Head on over to the MSI site. You can find it there.